We have some Charlie Kirk news, okay? And this, guys, I think is a little bit of a bombshell because they've been trying, like Erika Kirk and TPUSA have been advocating for Charlie Kirk to be the next O.J. Simpson. They really want to lionize Charlie, and they really want to, like, you know, make Charlie a martyr. And so the way they would love to do that is to have this court case where it could just be Charlie 24/7. Like, they wanted so bad. And dude, I think that would be horrible. I think it would blow up in their faces too, but whatever. Anyway, Candace Owens has been going off on her, you know, her campaign against Erika, against TPUSA, and she has been insistent that there was some type of foreign interference. I was not close enough to TPUSA and whatever to know anything about their foreign connections. The only thing I will say as an outsider is Benjamin Netanyahu's behavior after Charlie died was really weird, okay? Because he had nothing to do with TPUSA. And all of a sudden he's out there saying, we didn't kill Charlie. And I thought that was kind of strange. Like, why is the Prime Minister of Israel even inserting himself into this fucking situation? To me, that was so strange. That was so strange because it was out of left field. It was like, dude, nobody was even ever associated Netanyahu and Charlie Kirk together. And then Netanyahu talked about that for like a week, dude. Okay. It was crazy, and making the videos, right? So that was strange. All right, now, obviously, Candace has gone on with her Egyptian planes. Candace has gone on, and she has been insisting in no uncertain terms that this was a Mossad thing, this was a Netanyahu thing, this was a, you know, Zionism thing. Candace has been stirring that. There's been a lot of suspicion of Erika Kirk, her weird non-grief, and there's been a lot of suspicion of her being a honeypot, maybe even being Epstein adjacent with, you know, Next Model Management and Faith Cates and all that. Now, Joe Kent comes along, okay? And Joe Kent really has, like, him stepping down from counterterrorism, him saying, like, you know, I can't support the war with Iran. But now he has gone over to this Tucker Carlson, you know, Candace Owens camp, and Joe Kent has been saying, hey, man, we wanted to investigate foreign involvement, and Kash Patel shut us down. So Joe Kent is now saying that the FBI wouldn't even investigate if there was foreign involvement. Okay, now that's definitely weird because the FBI should be investigating everything. That's their fucking job, is to investigate all leads. If they get 1,000 tips of, like, my neighbor shot Charlie Kirk, they're going to go investigate that fucking neighbor. That's what the FBI does. That is what they do in every case. They follow up on the craziest shit. So anyway, there's a lot of, like, whatever. There's a lot of chaos going on with TPUSA and Erika and Charlie Kirk and all these theories, Joe Kent, right? And we don't know what's going on. But today, guys, today was kind of a bombshell. Because what happened today? This report dropped. The bullet used to kill Charlie Kirk did not match the rifle allegedly used by suspect Tyler Robinson. New court filing claims. Wow. Okay. Now that's weird because we have the rooftop of Tyler, supposedly Tyler, running along, and then we see him, supposedly that's Tyler. He's got something in his hand. He jumps off the roof. I always wondered, why don't we see the shooting, right? If the guy who ran off the roof shot, that parking lot camera would get him shooting. The shooting location should be right there. But they never released the whole tape. There's a lot of weird shit about this with George Zinn and 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗆's tweeting, we got the guy, no we don't, we got him, no we don't. All of a sudden the rifle, the 30-06, no 30-06 bullet went in like a pinhole like that, guys. Guys, let me just tell you, I grew up in Wisconsin. As a kid, I saw deer that got shot by a 30-06. I saw a lot of deer, like big animals, bucks with huge racks on their heads. That thing, that Charlie Kirk neck wound was not a 30-06, okay? Like, give me a break. I don't know what it was, but I just don't think it was a 30-06. There's no deer that I ever saw that got hit by a bullet that was fired by one of those guns that looked like a pinhole like that. I mean, dude, those things do some damage. Like damage, bro. We are talking like they will fell a moose and shit with bullets from those guns. And remember, like Andrew Colvett was saying, oh, the doctor said Charlie had like a magical neck. Oh, his neck was magic. Dude, come on. I mean, I don't think there would have been a head. You know what I'm saying? Like if a 30-06 bullet hit a human neck, I don't know if there would be a head like after that, like still attached to the body. If it was, I think it would be minimally attached, okay? It would be minimally attached, dude. It would be like, you know, like a baby neck. You seen a baby necks where there's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it would have like, you know, I mean, honestly, it would have been horrific to watch. But anyway, so this is the big news, guys. In regards to firearm evidence, defense attorneys say an initial report from the ATF indicates that the ATF was unable to identify the bullet recovered at autopsy to the rifle allegedly tied to Mr. Robinson. Although the state has not indicated an intent to produce this report at the preliminary hearing, the defense may very well decide to offer the testimony of the ATF firearm analyst as exculpatory evidence according to the motion. So this is huge, guys. Where an ATF investigator found the bullet from Charlie's neck, the bullet recovered at the autopsy, and that shit does not match the rifle. And so the defense attorneys could very well call that ATF agent up and say, okay, talk to us about how you couldn't match the bullet. Because, guys, all it takes is reasonable doubt, okay? And the number one piece of evidence that they're going to have is the bullet. Whatever bullet that autopsy pulled out of Charlie Kirk, if the bullet doesn't match the gun, what do they have? Dude, I mean, what do they have, guys? Let's think about Tyler Robinson's defense team here. We would have a gun and a bullet that don't match. We would have a high-level counterterrorism director who quit his job saying, you know what, we wanted to continue investigating, and the head of the FBI said no. And like, dude, Tyler's gonna walk, bro. Tyler is going to walk. And yes, where is the footage of the shooting? I mean, that camera in the parking lot, we have all seen the parking lot camera, guys. We see there's Tyler supposedly running across. He runs behind this thing and he jumps off here and he runs to supposedly drop the gun that doesn't match the bullet. But guys, right here is the shooting location, bro. Which means if this person fired a gun from right here, we should see him come over this railing, walk out here, set up his gun, aim, take the shot, dismantle his gun, put it back in the bag, and then go running across. But they start the video like right here and show him running. But dude, there's the location. There is like no reason this video is not showing the actual shooting if this guy shot from the location that that bullet was supposedly fired. Like, that's a real problem, guys. That's to me, that's always been a real hole in this case. Always. Because you see somebody running on the roof from multiple different angles, and there's something about this that's not adding up, guys. I always presumed they had it and they just didn't make it public, like they were holding on to it for the case. But I mean, why would they release it at all? Or if they had it, wouldn't they show the whole thing? I don't know. Dude, there's something about it doesn't add up. What is being alleged by KSL.com and by Daily Mail and a couple of these other news outlets that are a little fringe is Politico is covering this. So we now have it coming from Politico. We have it coming from KSL. We have it coming from Daily Mail. And guys, I'm going to tell you this. Politico would not be covering this if they had not read the court filing. So we know that suspicious ATF report where the bullet fragment recovered is inconclusive. We know that that is in the court filing, or Politico would not be covering it. Now, we have not seen the report, okay? So eventually we're going to have to see the ATF report. The FBI is running more tests. But guys, let me just tell you that regardless of what happens with this bullet and shit, Joe Kent is going to be a very problematic witness for the prosecution's case. I mean, let me just say, as somebody who everybody I went to college with is a lawyer, having a high-level government official who like wanted to investigate and having that get shut down, the fact that the FBI shut down a like arm of investigation is going to be massively problematic. I mean, that's enough to make a jury go, huh, why would the FBI do that? Right? Because everything would be investigated. The whole point is if you get 8,000 phone calls with tips, you do 8,000 field reports, right? But having a high level, the person in charge of counterterrorism, this guy was the director of a government counterterrorism department. And he was like, there's some suspicion. We should investigate foreign involvement. The FBI says, no, we shouldn't. Dude, that's enough to sink a jury. That is a huge, like, why would they do that? That there is reasonable doubt. You know what I mean? Of all the other shit, unless they literally have a smoking fucking gun, you know, that is enough reasonable doubt there to sink the goddamn case, bro. Because there's no reason they should have shut that down. You have Netanyahu behaving weird. You have conspiracy theories abounding, but part of an investigation is going and following those conspiracy theories to prove, yeah, there's no evidence here. Like next, right? You like mark them off and you clear them away. Sure, we're going to investigate foreign influence. Nope, there was no foreign influence. We followed 20 lines of investigation and it all came out to be bullshit. That's how you would do it. But the fact that they never even looked, right? The fact that they never even looked, that's hugely problematic, guys. That's like the investigators in Florida who never looked for Epstein's computers. Oh, we went to Epstein's and there were a bunch of hard drives missing and there were a bunch of plugs with no computer there, but there was a keyboard, monitor, and mouse. But we never looked for the computers. We just decided to move on. Okay. Yeah. Dude, that is, that's going to be a huge problem, guys. Huge, huge problem. So, yeah, I don't know. This could get interesting. It really could. This could get very bizarre. All I know is this, guys. I'm not like invested in this because Charlie Kirk was not like a meaningful figure to me. So whether it turns out to be some foreign conspiracy or some lone individual, I'm not invested either way in that. I don't live for the crazy everything is Mossad shit. That's not like what I do. I will say though that whoever did it changed the course of MAGA politics forever. Whoever did it essentially ended MAGA, right? They really did. Whoever pulled that trigger ended MAGA. But I will say this, guys. If there was foreign involvement, if it was not Tyler Robinson, if there was foreign Mossad involvement, like TPUSA, Erika Kirk, all of those people are gonna fry, dude. They are gonna go down so hard, like a lot of people. JD Vance, Peter Thiel, I think a lot of people will go down harder than fuck if it turns out to have some kind of foreign involvement. Like, I shit you not, okay? That would be massive. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.